Hey guys, welcome back. Origami here, bringing you another episode of our stuff. Because it's not a piece of your live video, we're actually live reacting to the Altered Genesis that just got released in Japan. We got the full set list now. It looks like a really crazy set, so I do want to go over it because I don't think I've actually talked about any new cards on this channel for a while. So now seems like a pretty good time to just like take a look at all these. I do want to make this a relatively quick video just because I do want to go to bed. It is late again because you guys know how it's been lately. So I'm just going to try to make this real quick, although I do want to examine all the artwork. And also, we don't really need all these extra shenanigans here, so I think I will try to, nice late editing, but it's fine. I don't want that blue on screen either. Dude, I am just the best YouTuber though, so don't forget guys. There we go. Perfect. All right, we got Sunkern. Sunkern is one of my least favorite Pokemon of all time now because I've been trying to find a shiny one in Pokemon Go for like years, and I just can never find this stupid thing, and I hate it, and it's not my friend. But it's also really cute. So we got Sunkern, Sunflora. When during your turn, ignore all attack energy costing attacks feature your grass and fire Pokemon in play. 2 energy attack, or too much setup, not really a big fan. Lileep. Actually, I should probably look at his other attacks, right? Sun Power during your next turn. Let's see if that's on screen. All right, during your next turn, ignore all energy, any attack cost of each of your grass and fire. Solar Beam does 80. All right, perfect. All right, cool. Lileep. So another fossil Pokemon. So fossils are just fun to look at now. Cradilly. Interesting artwork. It becomes like the Pokemon is affected by a special condition, it cannot retreat, and Poison Tentacle. Alright, moving on. Kricketot and Delele Whoop himself. Carefree Concert, 30 damage. If you have exactly 1 card in hand, this attack does 100 more damage. If you have exactly 3, your opponent's active Pokemon is not confused. If you have exactly 6 in your hand, this attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Very interesting, very interesting. For 1 energy, you can hit 130, which is not bad. And then you have all those extra effects that could help. You can put yourself at 3 to make your opponent confused, to stall for a little bit. Then you could be a spread attack for 6. Of course, you have to play cards that helps you get to these points, but it could be interesting, although it's still stage 1, so I'm not that excited. We got a new Decidueye line. That's cool. Little Clay Rowlet. Little Night Boy Rowlet. Fancy Boy Dartrix. And I don't see any abilities on these dudes or anything useful. Decidueye, Sharpshooting. This attack is 4 damage from your opponent's Pokemon. Tracking Shot. This attack is 8 damage from your opponent's bench Pokemon. Has any damage counters on it. Alright, pretty dull. Buzzwole. So this one's, my buddy Steven was actually talking about this Buzzwole today. Grass type Buzzwole, pretty cool. If this Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card you have taken. So if you take 5 prize cards, you can do 100 more damage, so your max output is 160. We do have that new tool card that increases beast ultra beast damage output, so I guess that's cool. But I mean, like, this card is pretty boring. So realistically, you'd slap it down as a grass type attacker for mid game, so you can use Beast Ring, right? That way you can actually realistically charge this thing up. So Beast Ring, your opponent has taken 3 or 4 prizes. At that point, you've either taken some or none. I know, it doesn't seem like a great card, is what I'm trying to say. It's 2 energy. If it was 1 energy attack cost, maybe, but 2 energy attack costs. Healing doesn't really matter whenever you're only 130 HP, so whatever. We got a Volcarona. I haven't seen a Volcarona in a long time. Not since the shiny one that we got in that set forever ago. 210 HP is good. Scorching Bomb, once during your turn, you may discard Fire Energy from your hand. If you do, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So if you play like straight Volcarona, you could play like 4 Volcaronas down and put 80 damage wherever you want. This to return 2 Fire Energy from this Pokemon to your hand. So obviously it works with Welder. So you can constantly get energies back in your hand. You can constantly be using Welder. If you play like Pal Pads and stuff, so not bad. And Great Heat Wave, discard energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, and that's it. That's pretty lame. Otherwise, this card's not great. It's okay. The ability's cool, but it's not like good enough, I think, to show worth. We have so many other good fire type attackers that it's pretty bad. Litleo and Pyroar. We got the male Pyroar this time. Discard all Pokemon tools and special energies attached to your opponent's Pokemon. Not bad, but also not really worth. Ooh, we got another Vulpix. That's all that makes me happy. As long as Pokemon's your bench Pokemon, it takes no damage from attacks. That's what I like to see. Free attack, and also it's cute, and that's what matters. I love Vulpix. Snorunt and Glalie. Big Head McGee. What is that artwork? Why is he stuck in a wall? Somebody help my man Glalie. Flip a coin if heads your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed, then discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. It's not bad. That's a really good attack. That's hilarious. I mean, there's a lot of switching, quote unquote, in format with skateboards and manual switches, but being able to paralyze and discard an energy is absolutely hilarious. So I'm down to clown with this Pokemon. I can't wait to see if we can make it work. Of course, it's a flip. I don't think we have Fliptini in format anymore, so you know what I mean. We got Spheal, we got Ball Seal, we got Other Ball Seal, we got Bigger Seal, and we got Biggest Seal. Alright, what does this do? Cold Wave, your opponent can't play any train cards in the hand during their next turn. You can't use this attack if any of your Pokemon use Cold Wave during your last turn. So if you can only use this every other turn. So you can stall every other turn for 60 damage. Stage 2 doesn't seem worth, so whatever. Ducklet, Duckman, and Swanna. Whenever you play this deck, you always gotta tell your opponent if they Swanna lose. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, moving on. Doesn't seem good. Attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. It says discard energy. Okay, pretty bad. Black cured him. Big boy right here, 130 HP. Blizzard Wing, 30 damage, discard special energy for an opponent's active Pokemon. Not super relevant. Lack of special energy is the format. Blizzard does 100 plus damage. If you have any stadium cards in play, this attack does 100 more damage. For water, colorless, you can hit 200 for a non-GX Pokemon. I mean, it seems like a decent addition into like Quagnag, I guess. It's 4 energies, and you can hit 200. And you have to have stadium play. And it's not terrible. Just because we have access to Quagnag as a deck, it doesn't seem that bad. There's also that Starmie GX, if anybody wants to play around with that. It's still pretty just boring, though. Quagnag is just not a great deck, so there's that. Lantern, let's see. As long as you select during your turn, you may look at the top card of your opponent's deck, then return to the top of their deck. Pretty whatever. Togedemaru, a call for family, search for any 2 Pokemon basics, yada yada, detect 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Pretty boring. Woobat, where's all the good stuff? I've heard this set is amazing. Swoobat, cute, adorable, love bats. Charm Stamp, your opponent chooses one of their own Pokemon, this attack does 9 damage to that Pokemon. Alright. Golett and Golurk. Well, whenever we look at psychic Pokemon, it's worth looking at because we have treasures, so something to keep in mind. Attack does 30 damage is affected by resistance. Fist of Antiquity. 160 damage, you have a support card, and your discard pile attack does nothing. Ooh, big yikes. Nah, not a good card. Skrelp. Isn't that like the old Skrelp artwork? I feel like I've seen this artwork too much. Why is there a Palkia in the background? My dude's gotta chill. Oh, wait a minute, isn't this set with Palkia, Arceus, and Dialga? I wonder if I missed any of the other artworks to have them in the background. Dragalge, my bad. Opponent's active Pokemon is not poison. Put 10 damage on this poison Pokemon between turn. So, in a nutshell, you're essentially doing a single energy for 100 damage. So that's not bad. We obviously have ways to support status conditions now. So this card by itself seems pretty good. Something to look into, because it is psychic type, so you can search. It's only 1 energy cost. You are putting poison on your opponent. 10 between turns is pretty good. If they don't switch for whatever reason, that is a 200 damage on them. So it's pretty good. I'm interested in seeing how if we can make this Dragalge work, because there's definitely something there. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is knocked out, if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards. So it's like a weird consistency card, but you're also 170 HP, so it's not super great. It's interesting though. Like, I mean, it's a basic. You can just slap it down and draw cards. Draw 3 cards every time you get knocked out. It could be like a small way to help non-GX decks in a way. Like, I don't think it's gonna be really worth, because like there's not a lot of good non-GX decks. But being able to draw 3 is not bad. We'll see. Strafe. So Strafe isn't a great. Razor Wind isn't great. Its attacks aren't super good. Its retreat cost is not bad. Its Weak to Dark is not super great though, so I don't know. It doesn't seem like a card that's really worth playing, because in the end of the day, they're just going to double custom catcher you up and knock you out, and then you're going to be sad because you just lost your Orcorio. So your non-GX deck became a GX deck, and you're just like, whatever. Cosmog, shout out to my boy Nebby. Ascension, that's pretty good to have Ascension on these cards. Prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon's attack onto this Pokemon. Okay, so preventing effects isn't like super useful. Cosmo, stiffen during your opponent's next turn. Any damage on this Pokemon by your opponent's attack is reduced by 40. Not bad, especially if you're going to be using Ascension here. Then we have Lunala and Solgaleo. Lunala here, Once during your turn, if you have a Solgaleo in play, you may search your deck for up to 2 energy cards and attach them to your Solgaleo and Lunala in any way you like. It's not a bad ability, but once again, you are playing a stage 2, and your attack is only Lunar Blast. So it depends on how good the Solgaleo is. We'll get there soon, though, I'm sure. Nose Pass and Trapinch. Oh yeah, we have a flag on this set, don't we? So we have 2 Trapinches. Search your deck for stadium card, put it in your hand, whatever. Flip a coin if it has prevent all effects of attacks including damage on this Pokemon. This is not bad, but it's also 2 energy, so it's pretty whatever. For Brava, when your opponent plays a support card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card onto this Pokemon. Not bad, but there's not like a Guzma or anything right now for that to really matter too much. And then Flygon GX. I always love Flygon. Excuse me. It's a fighting type, which means it doesn't have the dragon shenanigans. But both good and bad. 1 energy type, but then you don't get all the benefits of other dragon type Pokemon like lands and stuff. Sandstorm Protection. As long as the Pokemon is your active Pokemon, any damage into this Pokemon from your opponent's attack is reduced by 30. Not too bad. 270 HP, whatever. Desert Hurricane, 120. If there's any stadium cards in play attack does 120 more damage, then discard that stadium. So you can hit 240 and discard a stadium. Pretty mediocre. It is 3 fighting. You can play cards like Black Belt, and you're discarding the stadium as well. And you are doing the damage first, then discarding the stadium. So that's good to know, because if you play the fighting dojo, you do get the damage increase before you discard the stadium. And then you have Diancie. So you can obviously hit high numbers. So you can take Okos. Not to mention you're just good versus Pikarom. And with Diancie and Fighting Stadium, you can Oko things like Reshizard. But you'd have to get 2 fighting energies and a black belt or whatever it's called attached, which doesn't seem super great. So unfortunately, this is probably not going to work. Can you play it in Mewtwo? Probably not, because you'd have to play a fighting variant. And once again, fighting doesn't have a lot of support. Sonic Edge, or not a lot of consistency, I should say, because it has lots of support, but just not a lot of consistency. Sonic Edge, 220 damage isn't affected by any effects of your opponent's Pokemon, so you can hit past Keldeo, so it's something worth fetching. Overall, though, unfortunately, Flygon is probably a little bit underpowered in the current format. I mean, you have access to Zygarde that can accelerate energies onto your bench, but that's about it, really. Maybe we have more stuff in this set. We'll take a look. Anorith, so another fossil. Mardo, 20 damage. His attack does 50 damage for each unidentified fossil in your discard pile. So for 2 energies, you can hit like 220. It's okay. I mean, that's like in a perfect world, so you never played on a fossil that game. Machla, not affected by resistance. It's pretty boring, actually. I mean, you can use Counter Gain. I don't think Counter Gain rotated, but whatever. Another Rockruff. I love me some Rockruff. Adorable. Then we got a Lycanroc. Boiling Blood. If your opponent has any GX in play, the energy cost of this card is reduced by 3 colorless. Its attack is 3 colors, 60 damage. Your opponent's active points, any special energies attached to the attack is 70 more damage. There's not a lot of special energies in format right now for this to really come into effect, but I mean, attack for free isn't bad, but only hitting 120 is not super good, because you play this for Pikarom, right? But Pikarom, you only hit them for 120, so it's not that great. So meh is what I'll give it right now. Sandygast and Palossand. Okay. During your opponent's next turn, any damage on this Pokemon dex reduced by 20. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, pretty lame. Alright, let's take a look at these dudes. I've never seen these dudes before. Look at my Metal Sandshrew. That is adorable. So the Alolan Sandslash here. Round attack. 30 damage to a Pokemon if it has prevent all damage onto this Pokemon by attacks. Not bad. Enhanced Needle, 60 plus damage. If this Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached to it, attacks with 60 more damage. Pretty boring of a card. Mawile. Ooh, it's got the tag team dudes in the back. You may search your deck for the 2 tag team cards, reveal them, put them into your hand. Dark Claw, 20 damage, Pokemon can't retreat. Okay, pretty boring. Probopass. I've always loved Probopass, man. Hard Press, flip a coin of heads, the opponent's next Pokemon is now paralyzed. Triple Nose. Flip 3 coins, attack does an additional 40 damage for each heads. Pretty boring. Here's that Solgaleo we were talking about earlier. If you have a Lunala in play, all of your Solgaleo and Lunala in play take 50 less damage from your opponent's attacks. So that makes them a lot more bulky, especially if you like focus on Solgaleo as an attacker. You can play Frying Pan, which means you're taking 80 less damage from attack. And if you don't have a GX attack, you can lose Lucario Melmetal, which means you're taking 110 less damage from attacks, which is a ridiculously large amount of damage to take. So that might be something, but you need to have the Lunala down too. And then like getting a stage 2 down is still going to be hard regardless. And you can hit 180, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. I mean, if you have this Lunala to accelerate energies, it's not the worst thing in the world, but Still pretty like inconsistent, but it's like super high roll. But hitting 180 isn't that great though, to be honest. We got another Fairy Alola Ninetales. 10 damage, take the 10 damage for each Pokemon tool card in your discard pile. Oh, you can throw this in Rotom as a bulkier attacker that can hit more than Rotom can if you play like a lot of tools. Because like Rotom, you need 9 tools in the discard pile, which means you're going to be hitting 90 damage. But if you put a lot of tools in the discard pile while getting out Vulpix, play like things like a bunch of Hapus and all those tools that can discard themselves. Like my current Rotom build plays 16 tools. So you can hit 160 at the end of the game, and I can increase the tool count and decrease the shenanigans and play a 2/2 line of this Ninetales. And it's a free attack. So it could be interesting. I do like this. I'm definitely going to look into this for sure, because I kind of really like the idea. It's super cool. I like it. Oh, we got another Azurill. Azurill's adorable. It's Crochet, and I don't like it. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin of heads, attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to your active Pokemon. If the user's ability, your turn ends. I mean, it's not bad if you're not doing anything that turn, but it's also pretty whatever. Search your deck for up to 2 fairy Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Flabebe. Not too bad. Oh, I think I've seen these cards actually. The ones that disrupt your opponent's your hand. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may choose a card in your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals that card and shuffles into a kid. Oh, so they have to... So you don't get to look at it. So you get to choose a random card. So shuffle that. So you've evolved like into 4 Floettes that turn. That's 4 cards. Then Florges, when you play this Pokemon from your hand, you may choose 2 cards. So if you evolve like 4 Florgeses that turn, you get 8 cards. So meaning this is a way to make your opponent play with a 0 card hand. So hilarious. How would you set it up? You'd have to play a deck around this, but it seems like fun. It seems like not fun. It seems mean, but we can make something work out of this. Hand disruption to slow demise. I like it. Swirlix, 10 damage during your opponent's next turn. Any damage on this Pokemon by attacks reduced by 10. Okay, Slurpuff. Charming Aroma, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Sweet Panic, 110 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon isn't confused, his attack fails. Okay, pretty boring. Sylveon, during your opponent's next turn, the Fang Pokemon attacks you 20 less damage. And then Love Wave, 80 plus damage. If you played a tag team supporter card from your hand during this turn, this attack does 80 more damage. So 160. Pretty dull. So is this where all the Ultra, like where are the GXs in this set? I feel like we haven't seen a lot of good cards. Like here where the Florges are kind of cool. We're not done yet. The Ninetales is kind of cool, but like these are all really gimmicky, you know what I mean? Solgaleo Lunala, once again, pretty gimmicky, but kind of cool. Oricorio just seems really underpowered to me. Flygon seems pretty underpowered to me. I mean, I thought this set was going to be like absolute fuego. But I mean, like here's where like the crazy cards come in. Dialga, Arceus, and Palkia. In whatever order you choose. 150 damage, search your deck with the 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like, so you have to set this up, but whenever you do, it's kind of crazy. Water, metal, colorless. You can play with that baby Victini, I guess, and make the colorless be the fire type. So fire, water, metal, hit 150, accelerate energies in any way you like, so you just have to choose a Pokemon that can appreciate the energies to be accelerated to outside of another Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, but you're hitting 180. But you have Altered Creation GX. For the rest of the game, your opponent's attacks do 30 more damage, which is crazy. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra water energy attached to it, on addition to its metal, when your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from those attacks, take 1 more prize card. So I guess that means for the rest of the game you get to take an extra prize card if you ever take knockouts from boosted damage. So you can hit 180 throughout the game with Ultimate Ray, and then you can play like a Super Scoop Up type build, right? Because like why wouldn't you play Super Scoop Up? You're at 280 HP, so you're already ridiculously high HP. You play with like Choice Helmet. This is essentially the updated Guardian. This is like crazy Guardian, isn't it? I mean, you have to like, you don't get to accelerate energies immediately like you would like, but if you play it with Baby Victini, you can play a greens build with this, play healing cards, super scoop ups, choice helmets. Of course you lose to Guardian because you're weak to Fairy, but it's fairly interesting. I do like it. I think it's super cool. Not to mention any metal deck can play it because you just, that first, like you don't even need to have the secondary effect. Just the first effect to be able to hit for 30 more. The rest of the game is already good on its own. The problem is, I mean, like any Rainbow Energy deck can play it. You can throw this into a Mewtwo, obviously. Now, GX attack is just pretty insane. And then the secondary effect is also kind of wild, being able to take an extra prize. You would probably only use that versus like GX matchups, like versus Bucephalon or something. That way you can only have to knock out 2 Blacephalons per game. And it's against any Pokemon too. Like it doesn't have to be a GX Pokemon. So this card is ridiculous. I definitely need to look into getting this deck. This might be like my new deck post-rotation. And not, yeah, actually post-rotation, right? Because like I've been playing Blacephalon on Mali, but I need a deck that will last me into the format of 2021. Because right now I've only got up to the 2020 format, but once the 2020 format runs out, I need a new deck because I literally have Malamar, Blacephalon. Those are decks that are going to run out after 2020 rotation. So I need to start looking into building a new deck that would be sticking around for the remainder of for the next 2 years, I should say, right? And this is looking like a solid contender. I think it's really cool. I'm going to be doing a lot of testing with this deck to see if we can make it good. But I'm down to have a greens deck. I've always liked greens deck, and this has seemed like a really good option. I just have to look into getting those Victinis, the Victinis with fire energies, and yeah, I mean, I like this. 150, I mean, it's just like Guardian, right? Because like you're hitting 150 just like Guardian, but now you're hitting 180 instead, which is quite a difference because sometimes your opponents can heal out of 150 to get them out of 2 KO range, but being able to heal out of 180 seems a lot more difficult. And then you can always play cards like Jesse and James and Stamp and stuff like that to get them into 0 card hands like Guardian does already. So I'm interested for sure. Speaking of multiple energy attachments and things, we got Naga and Guz. Naga Lord. Guzdel. Naga Lord sounds better. Once during your turn, you may discard a Pokemon from your hand. If you do, heal 60 damage from this Pokemon. Interesting. I do like it because you are super high HP. You could play this like you could play this in like a Naga with like Naga and Adele GXs that discard to draw cards. Discard Ultra Beast to draw more cards. So you discard for drawing cards, discard for healing. You play a bunch of Brocks to shuffle them back into your deck, so you constantly be able to discard. You got your Ultra Space, so you can get the Pokemon easily. You're hitting 180 with Jet Pierce, pretty mediocre. GX attack, Chaos Order GX, flip over your prize cards for the rest of the game. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra Psychic and 1 extra Dark, take 2 prize cards. So it's not bad. So like turn 1 you attach a Psychic, turn 2 you attach a Dark GX, take 2 prizes. Then you just Jet Pierce over and over again while healing and hoping you don't get knocked out. The problem with these 2 cards is that they're both weak to Guardy, and that's not super great. Being weak to Guardy kind of sucks. But it's not bad for sure. I mean, B-String obviously is a thing, but I don't know if you care about using B-String in a deck like this outside of like maybe once just to get energy attachments going. Also, you can't play greens because you're an ability-based deck, but you are 280 HP, which is good. And you have that tool card that can help you hit even higher numbers. So I do think this deck is super sick. Like immediately you can hit 200 with that new tool card because the new tool card, we'll go over it in a second, but it lets you hit equal to more prizes you've taken, I think. We got Drampa here. Dragon Fan, 70 damage. This Pokemon has at least 2 different types of energy attached to it. Does 7 more damage. Pretty boring, but whatever. A new Komo. Changmo, that's just too epic, man. You're not that epic. Calm down. I love Komo, but like Jangmu, you're not that cool, bro. Hakumo is like where it's at. If your opponent has any EX or GX in play, this Pokemon can evolve on the turn it comes into play. That's crazy. Combine that with Treasure means you get an immediate Komo. How good is this Komo? It's got low attack cost, 160 HP. This attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Not too bad. 90 damage. You may discard a Pokemon tool from this Pokemon. If you do, attack this to 90 more damage. So for lightning and fighting, you can hit 180 if you are able to discard an energy card attached to yourself. And then you have access to things like Altaria that can increase your damage output even more. But then you have to have a stream of tools if you're going to be hitting that increased damage output. It's okay. I feel like you can make a really fun gimmicky deck out of it, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. Just that Hakumo is crazy because the Hakumo means that all Komos are going to be something worth looking at now. So if you have any crazy Komos, we don't even have to play Rare Candy anymore. So that's pretty good. But I mean, you still can, but you don't have to anymore. So that's pretty cool. Something to look into. Ultra Necro, 110 damage. This Pokemon can only attack if your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining. So pretty bad ability. 170 discard energy for your opponent's active Pokemon. So an expanded, this thing's kind of cool because you can turn off your own ability with Garb, and you can hit for double dragon energy, and you have access to tools. You can play like Choice Band and stuff to hit like 200. Play Shrine of Punishment, things like that. This is a really cool card for expanded. In standard, I'm not seeing its use. But for expanded, this deck can make a whole new Garbodor variant, or like maybe a deck that plays Silent Lab and Double Dragon Energy and stuff like that. I mean, I can't really see any other plays outside of that. But I mean, you're an Ultra Beast. You can play Beast Energy on top of the Double Dragon to hit even more. Shrine is always an option. I do like it. I think it's pretty cool. And you're playing Psychic Energies already, so you slap in a few metals on top of the double dragons, and you can play Garbodor as well. So not bad at all. Mega Lop with Jigglypuff, 240 HP, and a colorless tag team, which is always something worth looking at. These guys are too excited. They need to calm down. Jumping Balloon, attack the 60 more damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX and GX. So if they play a bunch of those, like the Denes and stuff, you can hit a lot of damage, but it's still 3 energies, and it's not super good in a lot of matchups. Puff Smasher GX, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. If this Pokemon has at least 4 extra energies attached to it, this attack does 200 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I mean, 200 sniper for 4 energies is not bad. You can just throw this into, once again, Mewtwo. Or any deck that plays Welder if you want a 200 damage snipe on the bench. So it's not awful, it's just very strange. The first attack I'm not a huge fan of, but it could hit for huge numbers, so it's not really like exactly a bad card by any means. Like if your opponent has like 4, that's like you're hitting 300 damage if they have 4 tag teams down. Like if you're playing against Pikarom, this card is destructive, right? Because you're doing 60 plays, and like Pikarom's gonna have like a 1 Pikarom, Dedenne, Zeraora, Raichu, and Raichu. Maybe another Dedenne, things like that. So this is hilarious versus Pikarom. But otherwise, other than that, it's pretty just whatever. And then you can throw this into Mally because, you know, colorless attack cost. So Mally's an option. Any deck with energy acceleration is an option for this card. So I do feel like it's definitely worth keeping a 1 of just on the binder because it's pretty strong, and based on the meta, you can really use it. We got ourselves an Eevee. Search for supporters, whatever. Ambipom. Once during your turn, you may put the top card of your opponent's deck on the bottom of their deck. Okay. Without looking, so it's kind of pointless. Ambipom, draw 2 cards, whatever. Bye-bye throw. Discard up to 2 cards from your hand. Attack the 6 damage for each card discarded in this way. Pretty dull, honestly. I gotta make this video faster. We got Teddy Ursa. Oh, Tardiez got the Arceus. Look at that. Look at that statue. That's pretty cool. And we got Ursaring, who is literally Kung Fu Panda right now. What is happening? This man is about to load up a Focus Blast to the throat. He's ready. He is. This is my favorite artwork. I need to save this picture. They call him Po. He's flowing. He's got chi. He's got chi going through his system. Chakra. He's flowing. He's ready to take on. He's ready to become the next Hokage, my guys. Like, look at him. He's ready. Oh, I love it. I wish it was a good card. I'd play this. This would be my main deck if this card was good. Holy crap. I love it. Excuse me. Still pretty late, guys. Almost done though. Rufflet. Braviary. We also got another page of stuff to look at as well. Arrowfall. Clutch. Pretty boring. Helioptile. I forget this thing's a normal type. Heliolisk. Parabolochar. Counter. 30 damage. Your Pokemon has any lightning Pokemon. Play attack with 90 more damage. Meh. Elegant. Oh, here's where the good stuff comes in. Tag Whistle. Search your deck for up to 2 tag team cards and put them into your hand. So we do have those new tag team supporters, but this also lets you search for tag team Pokemon. So if you're playing a greens deck who doesn't play anything except for tag team cards, you can toss those Cherish Balls because Tag Whistle's here to stay. Tag Whistle's super sick. This is the new full art, man. This is why I did not invest into Cherish Balls. Not yet, at least. I probably will eventually. Unidentified Fossil. Island Challenge Amulet. The max HP of the Pokemon GX or EX's card is attached to is reduced by 100. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon, they take 1 less prize card. It's pretty good, for sure, because there's a lot of times where that extra HP doesn't matter because they're going to nuke you anyways. So being able to deny them as many prizes per game is pretty strong. Beastite, I like this. Meteorite, Beastite. The attacks of Ultra Beast's card attached to do 10 more damage for each prize card you've taken. This card is ridiculous because you guys know I'm an avid Blacephalon player. And then you can play this card in that Naga deck we were talking about earlier. So this card's immediately a muscle band after you use your GX deck, right? Because you're doing 20 more damage. For like Blacephalon, you're doing 10 more damage if you use your GX attack, but usually Blacephalon's taking 1 or 2 knockouts. And the best part is it's not just GXs. You can play this on things like Baby Naga as well. Being able to hit that extra damage you need to Oko things like Mewtwo without weakness or with weakness is really, really strong. Not to mention, like now, those 270 HP Pokemon are a little bit easier to knock out thanks to Beastite. Like if you've taken 2 prizes prior, then you don't need to discard as many energies. So Beastite is just pretty big for a lot of decks. A lot of these Blacephalon, that is Blacephalon, and it's really good for Blacephalon. I'm really excited about that. But also pretty good for that deck we were talking about earlier with Naga Guzzlord. And now let's take a look at some of these tag team dudes and see if any of them are really worth playing. I haven't looked at all of these yet. All right, we got Guzma and Hala. So shout outs to the Sun and Moon for those of you that have not seen play the games. When you play this card, you may discard. Okay, search your deck for a stadium card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So stadium search, pretty boring. When you play this card, you may discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, you may also search your deck for a Pokemon tool, a special energy, reveal them and put them into your hand. So a card lets you search for a stadium, special energy, and a tool. Pretty good. I mean, I think this is more of an expanded card than anything, but like in standard, there's not really a lot of special energies that are worth playing. Stadiums are always nice to search. Tools are pretty as well. I'm trying to think of like decks that could really appreciate this in the current standard. Ultra Beast, Bucephalon, you can grab yourself Ultra Space, Beast Energy, and Beastite. It's not bad. It's better than playing Lucia, I guess. Grab Heat Factory, Beastite, and Beast Energy. Draw 3 cards as well. Ultra Space for Naga, things like that. I mean, it's definitely cool. I think there's a lot of uses for it. For Mally decks, there's not really a use for it. I mean, this is special energy. Like, what decks play special energy? That's the thing. Weak Guard energy, I guess, if you're playing Eggy. You can grab yourself Weak Guard energy, the Life Forest, and Choice Helmet. It's interesting. I don't know if you would build a deck around this idea, because you like the thing is it worth playing a one of, or would you rather play consistency cards and help you find those cards naturally? I think ultimately you'd rather play those cards, and otherwise this card doesn't feel like it's worth playing too much in standard, because we don't have like supporter search, but expanded it could be really good for sure. So that's something to keep in mind. And also, if you play that tag, I guess it is pretty cool, because if you play that tag whistle and you play a tag team deck, then this card's actually pretty strong, right? Because if you play, like I mentioned, Eggy, right? If you're playing against Reshizard and you can play the tag whistle to grab yourself an Eggy as well as a Guzman Hala, and then you can use that to get yourself like stadiums that you might need and Choice Helmet plus Weak Guard energy just to help you have a better matchup versus Reshizard or something like that. Like, it seems pretty interesting, so I do like it. I don't know. There's definitely some use. That tag whistle does make these tag team cards way more viable, right? So I got to keep that in mind. Pretty cool. All right, Cynthia and Caitlin. So first of all, it's got Cynthia, so I love it. Put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So part of a Lusamine. When you play this card, you may discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. So it's Lusamine plus How. So at first, this card was like really underwhelming to me, but then I started thinking about like what tag team decks are playing right now, and a lot of them are playing Coach Trainer, and this is arguably better than a Coach Trainer. Sure, it doesn't dig as much, but being able to put a green or a Bills or another supporter card back in your hand for the following turn, it's essentially like playing a supporter to draw 3 cards, and the 4th card you draw is a guaranteed supporter for next turn. So if you're playing Coach Trainer, right, to get you a good supporter for the following turn, then Caitlin and Cynthia do the same thing, because like assuming you've already played a supporter earlier in the game. So I actually like this better than I like Coach Trainer. So that's something to keep in mind. If you play Coach Trainer right now in your tag team decks, this card might be worth looking into for Guardian Sylveon, for I guess the boys we were looking at earlier, the legendary gods, whatever, the space-time gods, and that's about it really. Because I'm trying to think, because like for me, it's like grab green. That's what it looks like to me. Grab green, and I think that's about it. So I do like it. I think it's pretty cool. Let's take a look at what else we got. Mallow and Lana, the girls. I wish these artworks were cooler though, because they're just like stock artwork pasted on top of each other. So the artwork is horribly boring. There's nothing interesting about it. I'm assuming we're gonna get fuller, so they're gonna look sick, but like these look awful. To be honest, these look really bad. Whatever. Switch your active Pokemon with one of your revenge Pokemon, so Tay and Liza kind of thing. When you play this card, you may discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, heal 120 from the new active Pokemon. That's so weird. So you use a supporter to switch and heal the damaged bench Pokemon that will now become your active. That's very strange. It's 120, which is good healing. It's better than Pokemon Center Lady, which is a thing now, but it's also very strange. Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, play switching, and then I don't know. It's weird for sure, but I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be places where it's good. Obviously, any decks that play healing cards are gonna test this Mallow Lana, because having a support that can heal 120 is really good, like for sure. Like you use green to grab two mixed herbs, or excuse me, you play green to grab 2 mixed herbs or 2 great potions, and that's less healing than this Mallow will do for you, while also switching. So like you would be getting rid of the status condition as well. So yeah, it's definitely stronger than using green to get those options. So there you go. The problem is with those options is that usually you already have one of the pieces in your hand already, so green grabs you one more plus a different thing. So I don't know, it's definitely something interesting worth talking about. Red and blue. I love colors. Search your deck for Pokemon GX that evolves from one of your Pokemon in play and put it on that Pokemon to evolve it. Then shuffle your deck. All right, so you can. So I know Steven was talking about this card, saying he wants it for Whimsicott. Being able to evolve into a Whimsicott immediately. I mean, what else does it do? When you play this card, you may discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for 2 basic energy cards and attach them to that Pokemon you evolve. So it's actually pretty good. It has to be basic energies. I'm trying to think and expand it. It's pretty good. You can evolve directly into a Zoroark while getting a Zoroark ready to attack. The problem is you don't usually play basic energies in Zoroark, so it's not really worth doing. There's not a lot of evolution-based cards, but if we think about the evolution-based Pokemon in the format right now, we have Naga, we have Whimsicott, and my buddy Steven said he liked this card for Whimsicott, so it's definitely pretty cool. You just have to evolve it into a GX. So, I mean, I like it for sure. You can't use this card during your first turn or on the turn or on a Pokemon that was put into play this turn. So you can't go from like Ralts, evolve into Curlia, and then that same turn use red and blue. It has to be the turn afterwards. Something to keep in mind. So for stage 2s, it's still pretty weak. But for stage 1s, it's pretty good. So any stage 1 GX is worth looking into now. Like this is pretty good for that Volcarona we were looking at earlier, but Volcarona is kind of like pretty mediocre still, because that's not what was holding Volcarona back. Is there any other like GXs in this set that are stage 1s? Because it's really just for stage 1s, right? And Whimsicott's the only one that comes to mind right now, but I'm sure there's other stage 1s that I'm not thinking about. It's almost 11. It's past 11 p.m. for me, so. And for you guys that don't know, I wake up most mornings at 4 a.m. so I generally try to go to sleep around 10, which is why I sound so tired, even though it's not even that late in comparison to a lot of people. I mean, it's okay. I'm sure there's a lot more uses somewhere that I'm not thinking of. So let me know if you guys can think of any in the comments down below. Chaotic Swell. Here's a new stadium card that's really interesting, and I don't know how I feel about it. When either player plays a new stadium card from their hand to discard the stadium card, discard the new stadium card as well. So what you're doing is you're playing, this is like the perfect anti-stadium for decks that don't need stadiums, right? So let's think about it like this. If you're a deck that doesn't play stadium cards because you don't need to, then you're going to play Chaotic Swell. If you're a deck that plays stadium cards because you're afraid of if you're a deck that plays no stadium cards because you don't need to, then what's going to make you need to play this Chaotic Swell? If you play stadium cards, it would be to bump other stadiums. But if you don't need to play stadium cards because you don't care about bumping other stadiums, then there's no real reason for you to play this Chaotic Swell anyways, because it's just more deck space that you don't need to be taken up. So already, it kind of goes against it kind of goes against deck structure, right? If you play stadium cards to bump other stadiums, like, oh, I need this card because of Power Plant, I could see this being useful, right? So in decks that are afraid of specific stadiums like Power Plant or Lysandre Labs, I could see it useful. But the problem is those decks already have stadiums that they really enjoy playing. Mew Mew is afraid of Power Plant, but they already play Giant Hearth. Guillotine is afraid of Lysandre Labs, and so is Malamar. I mean, not Malamar. So is Guardy, but they already play. What's it called? They already play Viridian Forest or stuff like that. So, and in Guardy's place, they play Wonder Lab, or they play Power Plant, and those are all good supporters. So this card right now doesn't seem like it's a card that's ever going to see play, but I could be wrong. This just seems like so counterproductive. Like, it's cool. It's a really cool effect. If there's not any crazy stadiums that are worth getting rid of, this card could be really good. But right now, there's not really any. And then there's a bunch of reprints. We got Cherish Ball. Take a look at these artworks. What is this? Adventure Bag? That's cute. I like that. Pokecom. And Professor Elm's Lecture. I actually was just talking about this card recently. All right, let's go ahead and move on to these little promo dudes that I haven't seen yet. So We got Alolan Sandslash GX, 200 HP, Water type. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, put 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. Okay. Ice Breath is 120. Needlestorm GX attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon with any damage counters on it. Oh, that's really cool. This attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon with any damage counters on it. It's a really cool spread GX attack because you're doing 100 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon. That's crazy. It just depends. If you can like manipulate damage in such a way that you can take so many knockouts at the same turn, this card could be crazy. That's a really strong GX attack. It's just hard to charge up, right? Because like, how are you gonna set it up? But it's pretty interesting regardless. Got a Glaceon, one of my favorite evolutions, up there, top 3 for sure. 30 damage to the coin of heads, prevent all effects of attacks including damage on this Pokemon. And then Hypno Blizzard, 90 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon is on sleep. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's crazy too. Put your opponent to sleep while also doing spread. Once again, hard to charge up because there's no real water acceleration right now, but it's a pretty strong attack to be honest. Leaf Blade, flip a coin of heads, this attack does 40 more damage, pretty boring. Rich Aloma, heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. Not too bad, but not super great. Moving on, Rainbow Flower, this is new. Attach a Pokemon tool to one of your attach tool. The Pokemon GX that this card is attached to has its maximum HP increased by 20, and as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, it takes no damage from the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon. Bro. Cool. That's a good tool. So 20 HP increase is pretty strong on its own. You can actually get yourself out of range of a lot of attacks with this thing. Like Pikarom loves this because there's a lot of cards that hit Pikarom for like 120 plus weakness, and if you have this card, then it's not an issue anymore. This is a really cool card. Just having that extra 20 HP is really nice. The secondary effect is cool, but not as relevant right now in the current meta. Could be relevant later though, but just being able to increase your HP by 20 is not bad. I'm trying to think of other cards that this could be relevant for. I wonder if this thing goes past like, well, it doesn't really come into play, never mind. Let me think about this. What other crazy, like, I don't think it really helps Bucephalon that much. Putting them at 200 HP doesn't really change too much as far as math goes for a lot of different decks. But maybe it does. And same with like other tag team cards, like being 270 HP and being 290 HP doesn't seem to make too much of a difference that I can think of. And then like you would usually play Choice Helmet if it does make a difference, because reducing damage by 30 is better than increasing your HP by 20. Reshizar doesn't care about it. Pikarom could like it for sure, so it might be something worth mentioning. Darkrai decks don't really care about it too much either, like Dark Box decks. Alright, well, I do like this card for sure. I think it's pretty interesting, and I think that's gonna be the video, guys. I'm definitely the most interested about testing out. I know that people like the Reshiram a lot, which we didn't talk about in this video. Maybe I can go over that. I don't know, I haven't gone over that set yet. If you guys want to see me go over that set, then let me know. I haven't gone over it personally, but maybe I could do that real quick. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that, whatever that thing is called. Give me 1 second, guys. Because I haven't done that in video yet. Let me take a look here. Also, I gotta double check if OBS is looking good still. I do like this card a lot. I think it's super sick. It's Dream League, right? Or is it, what are we looking at right now? Is it Dream League? Or this is Altered Genesis. Dream League Remix Battle. Let me take a look at this. Poke Beach Dream League. So there's Dream League, and let me take a look at this. Poke Beach Remix Bout. So these are all the cards. So this is going to be our whole set then, right? Remix Bout, Dream League. I'm trying to think if there's a reason to talk about any of these cards too much though. There wasn't too much that was super relevant. But like Reshiram and Reshiram and Zekrom were like the only ones that were really worth talking about. Other than that, there's not too much going on. There's also, I guess we can quickly mull over these cards. If you guys want to see them, I just told you guys the names of these sets. So I'm going to quickly mull over these real quick. All right, guys, sorry for the cut there. Gotta also write that down for sure. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna quickly go over, just mull over these cards real quick, not to make this video any longer than it needs to be. I'm just gonna go over the cards that I know are gonna be kind of good. And if you guys have anything else you want to see me talk about more, let me know. But the only one that I really want to talk about here is going to be Solgaleo and Lunala GX, just because it's a new card from Mali. 230 HP, his attack can't use Cosmic Burn during your next turn. So just having a Psychic Pokemon that can hit big numbers, meaning you don't have to play any extra type energies and stuff like that, is pretty good. It might just completely replace Giratina Garchomp, to be honest, because you're still hitting that 230 number. You can still play spell tags, put things in range, all that good stuff. So something to look into. And then Light of the Goddess, 200 damage if you play Lily's Best Effort from your hand during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all effects of attack and complete damage done to each of your Pokemon each of your Pokemon. So that means you're completely safe next turn to anything. For 200 damage, it's pretty good. And like there's nothing your opponent can do that can pretty much stop you at all. We'll go over Lily's remix battle whenever we get there. But as far as the rest of these cards go, there's nothing really relevant. There's Pikachu, Reshiram and Zekrom GX. Thunderflame, Dream, 90 damage. Discard up to 3 in any combination of basic fire and lightning. Energy attached from your bench Pokemon. Attack does 90 damage for each one, so you can hit 270, which is not bad. And then Crossbreak GX, attack does 170 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. If you played End's Resolve, this attack does 170 damage to another one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it's easy enough to get energies on the board. You got Nagas, Welders, Volkners. You can get those energies on the board. So hitting 270 every turn is not too bad. And hitting 270 is a really good number. The problem with this deck that I have is that on top of all the other cards you're going to have to play, you're probably going to also have to play Lysander Labs, because this deck kind of like loses to decks that play Choice Helmet, because you're hitting that 270 number to take an OHKO on all these relevant Pokemon, but all these relevant Pokemon will be out of range if they play Choice Helmet. So something to keep in mind is you might definitely have to play Lysander Labs, because that'll also help you versus Guardian as well, because you do take a hard L to Guardian, but you can't OHKO them if you can set up before they do, which is not the most impossible thing ever. Guardian does have some pretty inconsistent setups sometimes. And then Crossbreak is a pretty good attack just in general. I mean, it loses to Mew, but not a big deal. Oh, we also have this Silvally, which can draw cards as you have 5 in your hand, so it's revamped Octillery, but Silvally is just overall a good card. Like you have the other one that gives your basics for your retreat, and you have the memories that can help a lot. 50 damage if you play a supporter card from your hand during your turn. This attack does 70 more damage, so you can still hit that 120 as long as you play a supporter, and it's only 2 energies instead of 3, unlike the other one. So it's actually pretty nice. And then White Knight GX, if your opponent's active Pokemon is Ultra Beast, this Pokemon is knocked out. So obviously there are Ultra Beasts in play in the game still, so not a bad card for sure. And we have this, I guess I should probably talk about these cards, huh? Shuffle 1 Pokemon and 1 Pokemon tool for your discard pile into your deck. This is amazing for a lot of decks. Just Pokemon recovery is great, and then tool recovery is insane for a lot of decks as well. Lily's Clefairy Doll, it's Pokemon substitute, or Robo Sub, but back and better than ever. So it's a 30 HP colorless Pokemon. At any time during their turn, you may put this card on the bottom of your deck, so you can never really deck out. This card can't retreat. If this card is knocked out, your opponent can't take any prize cards from it. So you can't retreat this card, but your opponent won't take any prizes, and you can just put it back into the bottom of your deck. It doesn't have to be active either, so that's really, really, really cool. You get after playing this card, the first time you flip a card for an effect of a trainer card, an ability, or an attack, you may choose to make the results heads or tails, so something to keep in mind. End Resolve, this is what you needed for the Reshiram. Discard the top 6 cards of your deck, attach all basic energies, discard in this way to one of your benched Dragon Pokemon. So it has to be benched, it has to be Dragon, but it's not bad, it's a card at all. It's similar to Hapu, but you're attaching energies as opposed to like getting any 2 cards you want. So if you like Hapu, you'll probably like this card. To be honest, I don't think this card is ever going to be an engine worth doing. Discarding 6 cards from your deck is really, really, really disruptive to yourself, which can be really scary sometimes. You got Roxy, discard up to 2 Pokemon cards from your hand. For each card you discard, draw 3 cards. Pretty dull, to be honest. Search your deck for Pokemon, Trainer, and a basic energy card, reveal them, put them into your hand. So it's pretty good, but you can only play this card if one of your Pokemon is knocked out during your last turn, so pretty boring otherwise. Clay, discard the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal all item cards discarded this way to your opponent and put them into your hand. This is really cool. It's similar to Bills, but you can get all the item cards into your hand, so I really do like it. I think this might just straight up replace Bills sometimes, because you usually play Bills in decks that play heavy items, so being able to get those directly into your hand is really good, even though you have to discard the rest, which once again could sometimes be disruptive to you. But if you're playing a deck that's mostly items, you don't really care. So, like if you discard like a green or an energy, like it's on the end of the world, right? Lily's Best Effort. So here's the Lily that you needed for that previous card, the Solgaleo Lunala. Draw 4 cards from your deck. If you have 3 or more cards in your hand at the end of this turn, shuffle cards into your deck until you have 2 cards remaining. So it's not a good card by any means. Draw 4 is not bad, but you have to end your turn with 3 or with 2 cards. It's not good. You have to play like regularly to get back from that. So this is going to be like a one-up just to use that attack from Solgaleo Lunala. Otherwise, it's pretty whatever. And then let's go ahead and pull up the other set as well. So real quick, like, let's see. Remix Bout. There's not too much to talk about here either, but let's see. There we go. Venusaur and Snivy GX. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, whenever you attach a grass energy from your hand, you may choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and switch it. So it's really good switching. I do like it a lot, but it has to be active. Forest Dump is a great name. Alright, cool. Solar Blast GX attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. If this Pokemon has at least 2 extra energy attached to it, heal all damage from each of your Pokemon. So not a bad card. Could just be another addition to Venusaur stall decks, but you are weak to fire, so. Mulling over real quick, we got Charizard and Braixen GX, so just a card you can throw into any Charizard deck. Shiny Flare, 180, you may search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand, so making your Charizard decks even more consistent. Ridiculous. Crimson Flame, attach 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. If you have at least 1 extra energy attached to this Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burn and confused. Burn and confused. I've been talking too much, now I got the hiccups. So you potentially play it because like sometimes you don't need to hit 230 to take OHKO. Sometimes you just gotta take 180 to hit 2 KOs. So Shiny Flare is ridiculous because you take the 2 KOs while also putting any 3 cards from your deck into your hand. It's kind of stupid. Charizard's no going nowhere. Ridiculous card. What's this? Okay, whatever. Blastoise and Piplup GX, water type Pokemon, splash maker 100 damage. You may attach up to 3 water energy from your hand to your Pokemon any way you like, then heal 50 damage from each of those Pokemon for each energy you attach to them. So this is like really cool because you can attach to yourself over and over again, just to heal yourself as often as you like healing 150 per turn is pretty nice. Bubble Launcher, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed, so this Pokemon has at least 3 extra energy attached to it. This attack is 150 more damage, so you can hit 250 from setting yourself up with Splash Maker. The problem is, how do you initially set yourself up? You know what I mean? So it's a pretty okay card, but I mean, for sure it has capabilities. Oh, what's this? Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may have your opponent switch their active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. If you do, discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and put this Pokemon at the bottom of your deck. I do like this card a lot. Just being able to force your opponent to switch is always nice. Being able to force switch in a lot of matchups is really, really good. So I do like this card. Plus, it goes back into your discard pile, or back into your deck, I mean. So there's that added benefit. This Baby Bucephalon is pretty cool as well. Put 4 damage counters on this Pokemon, on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. If your opponent has exactly 3 prize cards remaining, put 12 damage counters on them instead. I was talking about this in the comments of my 3-bird, the triple birds, the burbs with Bucephalon GX, or not Bucephalon, Buzzmosa GX, and like using B-String to set up that was a really good video. If you guys have not seen that video, go check that out. They're wondering what other Ultra Beasts they could play, and this is a pretty good option right here. So something to keep in mind, because you can still set up damage counters with Depth Bomb. It's just not as easy because you have to play 2 energies, but something worth mentioning for sure. Crazy looking Groudon, calm down. Let's see if there's anything else worth talking about. There shouldn't be much more. Lone Persian, prevent all effects of attacks including damage on this Pokemon by your opponent's tag team Pokemon, Ultra Beast, and Pokemon Special Energy, so pretty much the entire meta. Claw Slash, this attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so whatever. I mean, it's just nice walling capabilities for sure, but otherwise pretty dull. And I think that's everything except for the Great Catcher. Discard 2 cards from your hand, so switch your opponent's bench Pokemon GX or EX with their active Pokemon. So just what the format needs right now. I don't like Custom Catcher. I am going to love Great Catcher. So I'm excited about Great Catcher. Other than that, though, there doesn't look like too much else. Roller Skater, Weak Guard, Draw Energy, Acro Bike, Skateboard. Yep, that's going to be it, guys. This has been a lot longer of a video than I thought it was, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, super excited about the Arceus and Dialga out of all the cards I've seen so far. I feel like this deck has a crazy potential. We've seen green decks do well. This seems like a really good version of a green deck. So I'm excited about this. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe for all the good jazz. And I'll see you guys next time with more PCGO content. Peace.